Jeep CEO, Carlos Tavares, recently issued a startling cautionary message to all electric vehicle (EV) manufacturers: cease production of EVs or face bankruptcy by 2030. Tavares highlighted the grim reality that EV companies are experiencing substantial financial losses, exceeding $4 billion, with thousands of unsold EVs languishing in dealer lots. The escalating resistance from the general public and the diminishing appeal of overpriced EVs have compounded the challenges. Political pressures have also played a role in undermining the future of electric vehicles. However, there is an untold aspect of this narrative that has been unveiled by Stellantis Jeep CEO, Carlos Tavares. Contrary to the prevalent notion of thriving EV makers, Tavares has shed light on the less publicized side of the story. Before delving into the reasons behind Tavares' dire warning, it is essential to trace the origins of this revelation. In a recent announcement, Jeep CEO, Carlos Tavares, delivered a stark warning to all EV manufacturers, essentially echoing the sentiment that they are headed for bankruptcy by 2030. Tavares bluntly stated that the current hype surrounding EVs is unsubstantiated, and consumers are not inclined to purchase them. This impactful declaration has the potential to reshape the landscape of the electric vehicle industry. Furthermore, Tavares has exposed hidden scams within the industry. To comprehend the motivation behind such a grave warning, it is crucial to understand the context. Tavares, heading the powerhouse behind brands like Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, emphasized that the shift to electrification is not merely a technological evolution but a survival challenge. He characterized this period as Darwinian, where only the most resilient will endure. Tavares argued that many automakers are succumbing to the pressure from political leaders, producing impractical EVs with an average price soaring to nearly $70,000 and inadequate charging infrastructure. He questioned the interference of political leaders in determining the direction of the industry, advocating for individual choice based on personal needs. The cost of manufacturing EVs remains prohibitively high, with Tavares pointing out that several automakers are hemorrhaging money in their pursuit of electric vehicles. Jeep aims to achieve cost parity between EVs and internal combustion engine vehicles by 2026. However, Tavares highlighted the financial uncertainty faced by automakers, citing examples of major players like Ford and GM facing substantial losses and discontinuing production of certain EV models. Recognizing the true state of our system, it becomes apparent that financial investments are not flowing as anticipated. Astonishingly, the government, particularly the Biden administration, is deeply involved in this situation. On one front, the Biden administration vigorously advocates for a future dominated by electric vehicles, EVs, setting an ambitious target of 60% of all U.S. vehicle sales being battery-powered by 2030, escalating to 67% by 2032. However, this push raises concerns about the heavy reliance on China for crucial battery supplies, potentially ceding control of a substantial portion of the auto industry to a foreign entity. This strategic move poses risks, leaving the U.S. vulnerable to international political dynamics and market fluctuations. On the other side of the spectrum, we have Trump, an advocate of traditional gas-powered vehicles, emphasizing individual choice in purchasing decisions. Adding complexity to this high-stakes scenario are the impending political events, including the U.S. presidential election and the European Parliament election in 2024. The outcomes of these elections could significantly influence the rate at which consumers embrace EVs. Now, let's delve into how Carlos Tavares exposed the challenges faced by EV manufacturers. Tavares boldly stated that EVs are detrimental to the middle class, labeling the ban on combustion engines as dogmatic. His concerns extend to the scarcity of lithium, a crucial component in EV batteries. Despite Stellantis' substantial investment of $35.5 billion in EVs, Tavares questions the entire EV strategy. The shortage of lithium and other rare earth materials, coupled with escalating demand, may lead to soaring prices, potentially doubling the cost of EVs and rendering them unaffordable for the average consumer. Currently, the average price tag for an EV is around $60,000, while traditional gas-powered cars hover around $48,000. Tavares emphasizes the widening gap and warns that EVs might not be the panacea they were initially thought to be. The European Union's ban on combustion engines adds another layer of complexity, with Tavares suggesting that it forces people to abandon gas cars. However, Germany is cautious about this ban, foreseeing potential challenges, especially since EVs already cost 40% more than traditional cars. This ban could further drive prices upward. TZ's proposed game plan involves automakers introducing EVs with a more modest range of 30 to 60 miles, sufficient for daily driving needs. Beyond this, he advocates for a re-evaluation of the current trajectory, urging a more pragmatic approach to navigate the challenges associated with the EV landscape, shifting the focus to hybrid systems instead of relying heavily on electric vehicle (EV) batteries. Carlos TZ advocates for a diversified approach, urging against placing all emphasis on EVs. Now turning attention to Jeep, despite notable successes in the European market with models like the Avenger and the Wrangler 4xe, the brand has encountered challenges in 2022, experiencing a significant 133% drop in sales. The first half of 2023 witnessed an additional 12% decline, signaling a substantial setback rather than a mere hiccup. In response to these challenges, Jeep has appointed Antonio Filosa, a Stellantis veteran with a track record in Fiat and the Mering Group, as the new leader, indicating a strategic shift. Jeep is not only grappling with internal issues but also faces robust competition from Ford's Bronco, which is encroaching on Wrangler's market share. Data indicates that a considerable portion of Wrangler owners is transitioning to the Bronco, intensifying the competition. TZ projects that automakers experiencing losses on EVs might have a narrow window of 2 to 3 years before potential collapse, assuming a linear growth in EV adoption. If hurdles impede this growth, the runway may extend to 5 to 6 years, but the urgency is unmistakable. Affordability is a pivotal factor, with TZ stressing that profitability must be achieved with a $25,000 car to attract middle-class buyers. Jeep is actively addressing this challenge by working to reduce costs, lower the break-even point, and engaging in a joint venture with Chinese EV maker Zhang Leap Motor Technologies Limited, boasting a 30% lower starting point in supply costs compared to Western counterparts. While Jeep prepares for an aggressive increase in EV production until 2027 or 2028, caution prevails due to the looming fear of overcapacity. Some automakers are scaling back on EV investments and delaying launches, navigating a delicate balance between readiness for the anticipated EV boom and avoiding excess capacity pitfalls if the market growth deviates from expectations. Despite these challenges, TZ maintains a clear vision that the ultimate destination is electrification. Stellantis' forward-thinking 2030 strategy aims for $323 billion in annual revenue by the end of the decade, with a target of 50% of US sales and 100% in Europe being all-electric by 2030. This commitment remains steadfast, even as Stellantis faces hurdles and adjusts strategies in response to the dynamic automotive landscape. As automakers navigate the intricate landscape of the electric vehicle (EV) market, there's a delicate balancing act underway. The challenge lies in being adequately prepared for the anticipated EV boom while avoiding the pitfalls of excess capacity. Some industry players are choosing to pull back on EV investments and delay launches, recognizing the need for a cautious approach. In the face of uncertainties regarding market growth, Carlos TZ emphasizes the steadfast commitment to the ultimate destination of electrification. Stellantis' forward-looking 2030 strategy remains ambitious, targeting $323 billion in annual revenue by the end of the decade. The plan aims for 50% of US sales and 100% in Europe to be all-electric by 2030. Despite industry-leading profit margins, TZ characterizes the current year, 2023, as challenging, citing weaknesses in various operational areas. This candid acknowledgement underscores the formidable challenges even successful automakers encounter during this transitional period. Jeep's recent contract with the United Auto Workers sheds light on the human dimension of this transition. In addition to technological shifts, the company is addressing human transitions through voluntary severance incentives for U.S. salaried workers and a $50,000 buyout package for retirement-eligible employees. The key takeaway from TZ's perspective is a departure from exclusive reliance on EVs. Instead, the focus must be on diversifying options and reducing costs for the average buyer. TZ's warning serves as a wake-up call for the entire automotive industry, emphasizing that the race to electrification extends beyond technological advancements. Success hinges on making EVs not only advanced but also profitable and sustainable. The EV market stands on the precipice of a significant transformation, and companies that cannot meet the financial and technological demands of this transition may find themselves sidelined in the coming decade. Time is of the essence, and the fate of many automakers hangs in the balance. The crucial question emerges: would you currently consider purchasing an EV? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Additionally, explore our latest video on Joe Biden's groundbreaking anti-China EV mandate, which is already reshaping the entire EV industry.